is all about. We're
Take
breaking.
talk about all the. Oh my
There were
God!
some
All
okay
the
comics this week. There were a
all the
lot.
number ones this week, though.
Yeah, I think
My
all
God.
my top 3 is all number ones. Even my honorable mention, I think, is a debut this week, man. Because there were some great
Every
books.
single comic book I'm gonna talk about besides one is a number one. So
Yeah. I'm not even
it's
sure if I grabbed enough covers. Welcome to the pre-show, everybody. This is where we talk about what
hey,
we're gonna do in
everybody,
the
how's it
show.
going?
We're gonna be reviewing comics. Taylor's here too, just
There he is.
pre-showing it.
Hey, Taylor.
We got the. I actually did watch something cool this week for segment 1.
Awesome.
Marvel season. I know Marvel season. New York Comic Con. Rick Remender's in the news. Bendis is in the news again. We'll talk about that. That's really it. Again, it's light because Comic Con is right around the corner. New York Comic Con. They're saving everything.
I mean, I saw all sorts of new books announced this week, though.
Well, I didn't really. Well, there are, but it's more like the solicits.
Well, still,
December.
it's like a lot of names, like
know.
Chip Zdarsky writing an Avengers book, and like.
Oh no, I've got that. That's part of the NYCC teaser.
Oh,
Yeah,
what the fuck did you think I was just talking about? Then?
No, I don't know. Like Timeless #1, the solicit came out for that, and it's whack, dude. It
what
sounds
so
whack. Even though Lansing and Kelly are on it, I'm going to read the hell out of it. But
yeah, Timeless looks really good right now.
It's so weird. But yeah, food news, and then again top 3 with so many fucking number ones this week. It was insane.
Oh yeah, I'm really gonna have to just rapid fire honorable mentions. There was a lot of good books this week.
There was so much good shit this week.
There was a lot of stuff this week.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. But holy shit. Yeah, well, you're right. We got a whole big, long ass, cool show for everybody. So let's just get into the damn thing. To hell with that pre-show.
Mm-hmm.
We know what we're doing. We know what we're talking about.
Who's here?
I guess. Why are you here? Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, man, I thought I didn't have it. And no Dave. I'm kind of happy because, man, I would not have been able to guess. Greetings, Geek. Welcome back. This is another episode of This Geek in Comics, Outright Geekery's comic book shit talk show. Homer, Taylor, and Andy hanging out for an hour or so. Segment 1, what'd you do this week? I watched this movie called No One Will Save You. It's on Hulu. It's about Greys, like the aliens, but it also deals with like personal trauma. But it's really great pacing on this. There's like hardly any dialogue at all in the whole movie. Just some screaming and noises that the aliens and shit make. Man, I had just a really, really, really good time with this movie. Spooky season is here.
It is spooky season.
Yeah, and this is a really good one, man. It's got some like weird body horror with the aliens. I know that sounds weird, but there are Greys, but there's like maybe 3 or 4 different kinds of them. It's whack, dude. It is really cool. And the ending kind of leaves you like scratching your head, but I think you could kind of like frame it in a couple of different ways. I don't know. It was fucking great. I suggest you give it a shot. Give it a whirl. Anybody else do anything interesting this week before we dig into possibly the greatest Star Wars thing ever?
We had a staff event for a murder mystery party where I worked.
What does that mean?
It means that a bunch of us showed up and we were assigned like different characters, and one of us was randomly assigned to be a murderer, and then
like The Office. There's been a murder in Savannah.
Basically, yeah. I managed to guess who the killer was, so I felt pretty proud of myself.
Oh, nice.
Oh, way to go.
No one would listen to me, though, so I got outvoted, but whatever.
Oh
well. And I also went to go see Howl's Moving Castle today.
Oh, nice.
Great movie.
Yeah.
It's my first time seeing it, actually. Really enjoyed it. Hey, Joe.
Yeah. It's Studio Ghibli, right?
Yeah. It's
great.
I think this one was from 2004. I think it's out for like, they're doing a bunch of like anniversary. It might have come out in 23 and it might have come out in 2003 in Japan, I guess. I think it's supposed to be like its 20th anniversary. Yeah.
Jeff chimed in the chat. Thanks, Jeff. Always happy.
I saw that Studio Ghibli has been doing their like anniversary rollouts here stateside.
Yeah, I heard they
again.
got sold to like some like television station in Japan, but like they're not going to do anything. They just want to own it. Like they don't really want to control anything.
Why would you like try to meddle with something that's like a beloved
and perfect?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, when you have like 5 Oscar nominations, 1 win, and it's all because Miyazaki just went, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Yeah.
With Studio Ghibli, and it's like, yeah, we're just not gonna argue with you.
Yeah. So that's fun. Andy, did you do anything cool before we talk about
no.
Ahsoka?
Nope.
Oh, awesome. No,
Just
I moved.
packing.
I packed all my shit. All
Packing all my
right.
shit.
We need to get into this early because this might take a while. Part 6, Far, Far Away, where Ahsoka and the gang use some whales to travel to another galaxy. And it was fucking rad. We got to meet everybody. Thrawn is in the house. The witches of Dathomir. I mean, are these freaking stormtroopers? Are these like zombies?
These are like Mad Max stormtroopers. I don't think they're zombies, but I do love like kind of like the ruined aesthetic, and that one like honor guard of his has like the fucking like immortal mask from 300 or whatever. But
like this shit here, this dude.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah. I mean, it was just freaking awesome, action packed as usual. But Skull and Haiti are going to like find. They're basically using Sabine to go find Ezra.
Yeah. So once again, she's doing everything that the bad guys want. You know.
Exactly. Now, somebody said, here's Ezra. He does show up at the end. That he's got like this chain mail on underneath his clothes. And upon really close examination, some folks have said like that is made out of dog tags from stormtroopers that he's murdered. And that these witches of Dathomir have used their power to like resurrect these stormtroopers like some weird D&D necromancers.
Well, Thrawn did say that they had depleted numbers. So I don't think that... I don't think it's a given that like they've resurrected anyone. They could just have a depleted force, you know.
Yeah, and we may never know. You know, they may never give us that. But
fan theory away then if you want to. But
yeah, exactly. But man, I loved this. Like there's a big tower that they're on, and Thrawn's, Star Destroyer just comes doesn't even land on it, just sort of like hovers over it. And I just thought that was such a cool aesthetic, just a cool looking thing. And that's really what this show has been about for me. It's just visiting Star Wars and doing cool Star Wars shit.
Yeah.
That's it. It was
now,
so
this
much
is
fun.
Probably the episode where you are missing out the most by not having seen Rebels.
That's what
I know who Thrawn is. I know who all these characters are, but I don't probably have as much of an impact. Oh, it's Ezra again. This is my first time seeing him.
Yeah, we knew he was going to show up, but when he finally did, it was like, oh shit, yes. If you know what you're...
it's good. It's good to see Ezra on the live action side, finally.
Yeah, that's cool to see. And I am glad for Rebels fans getting that. It's still fun to watch. Like even as someone who like has never seen an episode of Rebels, I'm still following the action. I'm still enjoying it a lot. And yeah, it's I still hate Sabine. So
it's easy to hate her. It's easy to hate her.
She keeps screwing up.
She's really carrying the bad guys in this series,
Yeah, she just keeps screwing up, just doing like the wrong thing. I mean, it's for the right reasons, I guess.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's the same path that Anakin sort of took. He thought he was doing all the right shit too for one person in his life.
Yes, that's true. And
that is doing the same thing.
That is something interesting about Star Wars is that it does. A few of the movies now have gone out of their way to like, if you do the wrong thing for the right reason, it still fucks everything up. Like Luke did that at the end of Empire. That was basically the entire fucking plot of Last Jedi. Which I get Last Jedi is a controversial thing to talk about, but still.
You're right.
That's the whole prequel trilogy is Anakin trying to do the wrong thing for the right reasons, and it created a fucking fascist empire over the goddamn galaxy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So I really like how they're leaning into, I don't want to call it tropes, but they are kind of like Star Wars tropes.
Every story has tropes. That's
it does, but it feels fresh.
Sure,
it's fun to make those comparisons.
Well, yeah, that's and that's really the point. Yeah, is that like it's going to have tropes, but the execution is what matters.
Exactly.
I am frustrated by Sabine, but I get it. I understand why she's doing what she's doing. It doesn't mean as much to me not having watched the show, but they're executing it well enough where, like, when she finally sees her friend again, it is such, like, I get that, like, this is someone that she would risk the fucking galaxy for,
more than one galaxy now.
Apparently 2 galaxies for.
Yeah, at least 2 galaxies are at risk.
An unspecified number of galaxies for. Yes.
Yeah. So Skull and Haiti are sent. They had like this great discussion, right? And he talks about kind of what we're talking about, how he wants to be there at the beginning so he can break the cycle, because it has been just cycle after cycle, good guys, bad guys, all repeating itself.
Well, he's being an idiot too, like
he is.
Every time somebody goes in for like, oh, well, this is for the greater good, it never fucking works.
It never is for the greater good, though, also at the same time.
Yeah. And even if the things he's trying to do are meant with feeling, good feeling. He wants to do things for the right reason.
Well, road to hell and good intentions.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Jeff, zombie troopers. Yeah, I think so too, man.
Maybe.
Maybe. I mean, the witches are there, so yeah.
They have an in if they want to do it that way.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right, 2 episodes left. I'm sure next episode everybody is going to again. Ahsoka and her droid pals are going to get onto this new galaxy and to this new planet where Thrawn and them are kicking it. And then, did you notice the coffins? You know what? I did notice them slowly pushing around gear. I didn't realize it was a coffin. But now that you said that, Jeff, that does kind of make sense. Maybe they have like some magic monster machine that turns these dead stormtroopers into necromancer-esque whatever.
The witches are there. The witches are there, so
they do.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what horror Sabine has unleashed on the galaxy?
Yeah, right. That's awesome. So yeah, man. I mean, they're still anticipating Ahsoka coming, so they're gonna kill any whales that come in. I think that's going to be interesting. That's
I like how they just call them star whales. They're not like
Purgle.
Well, they specifically said star whales in this episode, though.
Yeah, I like that, dude.
I like that a lot better than like what fucking like Avatar and the Way of Water. Like, no, they're not whales. Yet they're fucking whales.
They're whales.
Go fuck yourself.
They're fucking whales.
We know what whales are. They're whales.
Yeah. So our 2 more episodes of that we are anxiously awaiting. And I'm stoked. I can't wait. I've had so much damn fun with the series. This episode was like some of the best Star Wars shit ever. It was just so good, dude. I had such a good time with this. So we'll have more when we have it. Let's do news. Not much in the way of news this week, but Marvel has teased some of the things that they're going to do at New York Comic Con. So, I mean, that's going to be the big news. New York Comic Con is going to come. We're going to get all of this great information about stuff that they're going to be doing in 2024 and beyond. But we're getting a little bit of that now. Gary Dogan and Kieran Gillen writing what appears to be a couple of books. Lucas Wernick with R.B. Silva.
Yeah, perhaps like bookending the Krakoan age here.
Yeah, the Hickman stuff where all of this started with House of X and Powers of 10. It looks like we're going to get Fall of the House of X and Rise of the
What
Powers
if this is pronounced House of 10 and Powers of X?
Oh, I hope not.
Well, we'll see.
But still.
I mean, it took forever for me to realize it was supposed to be called Powers of 10.
Yeah, I was calling it Powers of X and House of X. I thought it was all XX, But the Powers of 10 does make sense in the context of...
In the context of that story where, like, it was 10 years, 1,000 years, whatever.
Well, and Moira's
10, 100, 1,000, and all that.
And Moira had 10 lifetimes.
10 was all over it, for sure.
Yeah. So I'm anxious to see what they're going to do here. Like you said, Taylor, bookends. So that leads me to believe we're going to get basically the same sort of story told in a way that is final, has finality to it. Whereas the House of X and the Powers of 10 books were like laying a foundation, I'm expecting this to be like the roof of the house, or just blow the whole fucking house up. One or the other.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Moving on, another tease. Chip Zdarsky, arguably the greatest comic book writer on the planet because he writes Batman, and Daniel Acuna doing Avengers Twilight. This is set for January 2024. We're not sure what this means for the current Jed MacKay run.
I mean, the Jed MacKay is still in its relative infancy, so I'm assuming this is not going to be affected by whatever this is.
Yeah, they're a little hush-hush on this right now.
Yeah, I would assume that this is some sort of, like, other story. It's not like the main Avengers book, I'm assuming, is going to keep going on.
Yeah.
Unless Jed MacKay was, like, a one arc and done run, which I don't think will be the case.
I mean, or maybe this is, like, an event-style book.
It might be, yeah.
Where the Avengers Twilight is the main series. And
either way, though, with Zdarsky and Acuna as the creative team, it's definitely piqued my interest just there alone.
For sure. Yeah.
Since Chip is writing, it's definitely going to be a good book. So
yeah, that dude don't do no bullshit. Next little bit from Marvel teasing New York Comic Con stuff. Don't call it a comeback. We knew this was going to happen.
Yeah,
but it's Al Ewing.
Characters always come back. Magneto specifically always comes back. So yeah.
Not really much to say about this. I mean, I'm anxious to see the guy come back.
I am, and I also like that Al Ewing, the guy who killed Magneto, is also going to be the one who brings him back. So that makes me think it won't be too much of like a shark jumpy type thing,
Yeah, and I mean, even if it is, it's really
even
not
if it is,
how. It's about the why and what he does when he gets back, and what his new status quo will be, if any. That sort of shit.
I'm just saying, I think it's in good hands.
Oh, for 100%. Does anyone else think the M in this Magneto is meant to look like his helmet?
Now that you say it, it does kind of look like his helmet. Yeah,
it does. Yeah.
I think that looks so rad. I love that.
Yeah, I love that font. It's well done. It's not too like ham-fisted about it either,
I love that font.
It'd be good to see where Magneto goes from here, because when he died, he was like, Charles was right. So when he gets resurrected,
he's gonna know Charles was wrong. He's
gonna know that Charles was wrong. So
he might go take out Orcus single-handedly.
Because
everybody.
It's gonna have that type of thing, because like now we've had the Hellfire Gala, and Magneto died before that, and he was just like, Charles was right, and then now he's gonna get resurrected. It's like, oh wait, Charles, you were not right at all.
Yeah, and I mean, he's missed so much.
I don't know if that's my takeaway from the current status quo. I don't know that Charles is wrong is the takeaway that I'm having from all this so far, but
he did fail.
He failed. That doesn't necessarily mean
exactly.
Charles didn't take all the blame for what happened, so
he has a huge Messiah complex, so of course he did.
Yeah. All right, and finally from the teasers coming from Marvel for the New York Comic Con, the next big
Hickman
thing
on Spider-Man.
Ultimate Spider-Man. Hickman Chichetto, what the fuck? I cannot wait. We do get the Ultimate Invasion. Is that what it's called? The 4
Yeah, I'm assuming this will probably be a follow-up to that.
Yeah, I'm expecting that as well. But we're also going to get other Ultimate books. It's not just going to be Spider-Man. We're probably going to get some X-Men, Avengers, but they call them the Ultimates. Black Panther, I think, is definitely in the cards, given that map that we saw in the last issue of Invasion. So, yeah, dude, I'm stoked for this. Anything Hickman does, I am stoked for. Gods, that book that he's got coming up next, has already have a second printing going to the shop. And it's 2 weeks until that book drops. So that's really unheard of. They know a book is going to sell out that far ahead of time. But we don't know anything really. We're assuming it's going to be Peter. We've already seen Peter in this new 6160 that the maker has created. Miles Morales, from the first issue, was given a card. We still don't know where that's going. I can't see Miles leaving the 616. I just can't see it. I can't see Peter leaving. It's got to be this new Peter that was created. And the maker stopped him from being bitten by the spider. So now we don't have a Spider-Man. I don't know how they're going to fix that. It's all going to come down to this Kang looking dude who we saw, Iron Kang or whatever the hell that we saw.
Yeah, the Iron Man Kang.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there. But
it's Reed Richards with Iron Man's armor and Kang colors.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no,
Yeah.
that was 2 different things. Sorry.
Yeah, because there was a Reed Richards with the Doom.
There was Iron Man Kang, and then there was Reed Richards with the Doom mask. That's right.
This new Ultimate Universe is gonna be interesting to look at when it finally comes around.
Yeah, we're not really getting anything from Ultimate Invasion yet. You know, it's been very, I don't know. It's weird. It's like not the Ultimate Universe at all. It's completely
Yeah, it's supposed
new,
to be just 4
completely new.
issues, and so theoretically we're almost done with this
It's
Ultimate
next week.
Invasion.
Yeah, next week it comes out.
So yeah, I guess we'll see whatever the hell status quo he wants to set in motion here.
Unless it's like the one that came out years ago, where it was just like the only thing we got was Miles, and that's it. That was the only thing good.
Right. Yeah, that book goes for a ton of money.
Yeah, I mean, the Ultimate Universe, we talked about this a little bit already, but like the first bite at the apple, it's a good idea. It's like, you can set it up where like these characters can be like fresh reimaginings on old favorites, but eventually it just became a shit show. So it's still a solid idea. It's still something that's worth giving an attempt to. I just hope that they do a better job with it this time.
Well, I think with Hickman at the reins, it has to be better.
Yes, that gives me a lot of faith. Because the first time around, it was just like, like, hey, we can make the Hulk like a giant sexual predator monster. It's like, you could. Not a good idea, but you can. Yeah.
But it doesn't work that way.
Like, they're just doing, like, what's, like, the shittiest, like, sophomore in high school, like, take on this we can have.
Yeah,
and they just made the characters just a bunch of unlikable pieces of shit.
Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver is still the ultimate Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Still the dumbest fucking thing ever, dude.
Weren't they like in a? I don't remember.
Incestuous relationship, yes.
Yeah, they were in a relationship. Yeah.
So stupid.
But they weren't
Captain America, almost like being a fascist.
They were, yeah. They were incest, straight up incest, yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, they.
I don't remember. I blocked out most of Ultimates. That's how bad it was.
I mean, that's the thing that that's the thing that I trust Hickman to do better. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Exactly.
And I think he'll have a much better take on like what's a reimagining that'll actually fucking work, And
I don't think Hickman is prone to like do things just for shock value. And I think the Ultimate Universe kind of did that, like Blob eating Wasp. Remember that? They did that just for shock value.
Yeah, I mean everything, including the conversation we're having right now, was planned by Hickman at some point.
Yeah, right. Right.
This whole entire conversation was planned by Hickman.
Yeah, we're all just dancing at the end of Hickman strings.
Yeah.
We're all puppets.
We'll have more on all of those stories once we have more when New York Comic Con comes. So, moving on, Rick Remender has signed a 3-year exclusive Image Comics contract. He's bringing his giant generator label over to Image. Rick Remender is awesome. He's always championed creator-owned stuff.
Yep.
Deadly Class, over 1 million copies. Black Science, Low with Greg Ticini, 500,000 copies. 7 to Eternity, Tokyo Ghost with Sean Gordon Murphy. Oh my God, that book was so great. He has longevity in the business. He has name recognition. He's developing shit with Hollywood. He understands how this is supposed to work because he's turned down offers to write X-Men and Batman. All right. If you do that, you got to put faith in yourself. Yeah. Just secretly listening for Hickman. Thanks, Jeff.
Oh, yeah, we got the spies here. That's okay.
That explains everything.
That explains it. So, yeah, he's writing The Sacrificers at Image Comics right now with Max Fiumaro. He's going to co-write a book called The Holy Roller with comedian Andy Samberg and musician Joe Troman. Roland Bashi is going to do the art there. I don't know, man. You got to have big, shiny ass balls to say, nope, I ain't doing X-Men or Batman, and just basically go it on your own. Image takes no ownership. He's thinking long term. He wants something to be able to pass down to his family. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And writing X-Men, writing Batman, it pays the bills, but it doesn't give you anything in terms of ownership. And that's what he's leaning into. And man, more power to him. I love that he's doing that. And yeah, dude. I mean,
I think this is going to be a good pairing with him and Image.
I think so too.
He's going to probably put out a couple of interesting books that we're going to be looking forward to next year.
Yeah, The Sacrificers is great. Holy Rollers looks, pretty good from what I've seen. But his resume speaks for itself. There's no damn reason for him to go write X-Men or to write Batman because he doesn't have to.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
how
he
that
just
that
doesn't
just
have to.
shows how good he is. He doesn't have to write for them because he's just going to be like, I'm just create my own stuff and own it.
Yeah,
That's it. And
Yeah.
that's what he said, and that's what he's going to do. And he's proven so far that he can do that.
Deadly Class should have gotten a second season. He's got other stuff in the pipeline, the Hollywood pipeline, which is basically shut down right now, but seems to be opening up soon. So yeah, man, I
That's if
cannot
those
wait
talks
to
go
see
well
what he
next
brings.
week.
Right. I can't wait to see what he comes out with. So, last bit of news this week: Bendis and Maleev are getting back together. I love that. They have written some really good shit, including a really fun Daredevil run back in the day.
I mean, we talk all the time about
Mhm.
Daredevil having all these great runs in his history, and that's one of them that's way up there is Bendis and Maleev.
Yeah. So this is about Emma, a girl named Emma, whose nickname is Masterpiece. She's a 16-year-old, really smart. So somebody comes to her, a famous billionaire comes to her and confronts her with the truth about her parents. She is the only daughter of two of the greatest and most charismatic master criminals of all time. Her parents were the authors of the greatest casino robbery of all time, the greatest museum heist of all time, and they took Preston, this billionaire, for $1 billion. And then they disappeared. So he's hiring her to go find her parents. And I love that. I think that
Yeah,
is
that's an
really
interesting
fun.
premise.
Yeah, because not only is she, yes, working for this dude, doing what he wants to go find her parents, but I mean, as a 16-year-old kid who got dumped by your parents, who are obviously rich as fuck, you're gonna want to know why the hell did y'all do that, you know? So that Maleev art just looks fantastic. Yeah, one of the best. I mean, in the 2000s, dude, if Bendis and Maleev were on something, it was a must. It was a must have. You had to pick it up. I don't care what it was, but yeah, I'm really excited to have these two working together again. 25-year history of these two creators, kicking it. So I love that.
Yeah, this is definitely on my radar when it comes out. I mean,
Yeah, me too.
You can't go wrong with Bendis. So
Yeah, that comes out in December sometime.
Oh, you can go wrong with Bendis, but
yes,
this does seem like something right up his wheelhouse, though.
Yeah, he really likes this hard-boiled noir sort of crime stuff. That's where he first got started. A lot of even the Daredevil run that we talked about, some of his Avengers run, it was basically just that, a crime.
I think
sort
there's
of
only
whodunit
one thing I read of his I did not like, and I don't remember what it was called, but it was just like something that was just like, it wasn't really noir. It was just more of like off the beaten path thing. I can't remember the name.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his Jessica Jones run, that's all that was,
Yeah.
And things
There's
like
nothing that I ever actively disliked from Bendis. It's just that I quickly got sick of a lot of his shit, like Justice League and Iron Man and Superman. So a lot of the stuff he's done, like I guess more recently for the big two, his dialogue quirks get old fast.
They feel old-fashioned now,
and especially like maybe that's just from like the 10 years at Marvel where he was writing every fucking thing. Yeah,
you've just been overexposed.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. I'm really excited for that. So we'll see how that goes. And again, that is all the news for this week, y'all. I'm sorry, it's just been a drought on news because of the New York Comic-Con, but
that evil Comic-Con.
I mean, honestly, though, like with all those books that are like being teased for New York Comic-Con next week, I feel like the most important things that I care about them have already come from just the creative teams involved,
Oh, for sure.
Like, dude. I don't give a shit what, like, this Avengers Twilight book is. You already got me with Zdarsky and Acuna,
Exactly. Yeah. I do want more details, though. I want some.
Oh, sure. Like, I'd like to get more details. I'd love to see, like, what exactly is going on with the Ultimate thing, especially. But it's Bendis is writing it, so I'm going to read it no matter what the fuck they say,
Yeah. Jeff in the chat said he loved Bendis Marvel stuff. He got me back into comics.
Oh, absolutely. Well, sure. I mean, what's the term you use? Yeah, I was about to ask.
Yeah, from House of M all the way through to Secret Invasion and beyond.
Siege is one of my favorite events, honestly.
Yeah. He just nailed it then, and it was. I mean, I don't know.
But then also Civil War II is one of my least favorite events. So
Civil War II. It's dog shit.
It's the eternal dichotomy of Bendis. He's one of the best writers of all time, but he's also a writer that exasperates me more than most others that I can think of.
Yeah. And I understood what he was trying to say with Civil War II. He just wasn't saying it well.
Yeah.
He just wasn't doing a good job. But yeah, we should do a whole show just on Bendis and that decade and what he did to change the entire landscape of comics. Just brilliant shit. All right, let's do food.
Yummy.
We have got some crazy food news this week. The first one is Pringles. Pringles introduces its first ever crisps and caviar
Ew.
collection. Okay, first of all, caviar is dog shit. It's nasty. Don't eat it. It's eggs. It's fish eggs.
I mean,
Okay,
it's just something that like rich people eat just because it's like such a
expensive.
like shit. Honestly, it's probably just because it's such a like outrageous thing to be eating,
like snails and things like that.
Yeah.
Delicacies.
I don't understand caviar.
Yeah, I don't get it. But putting it on Pringles,
That's
85-cent can of Pringles.
Yeah, I mean,
Come
like
on, man.
that's like getting like a fucking like vintage wine to go with like your Lunchables,
Yeah, dude, exactly, dude. I don't get it. So they're teaming up with the caviar
I
company.
mean, that's probably what they're going for. I assume it's just like the dichotomy there, but I don't know.
Yeah. So for $49, sour cream and onion paired with a smoky and savory smoked trout roe. And then for $110, Jesus, Pringles Originals with Caviar Company's buttery classic white sturgeon caviar. Ugh.
Who's the person who like researched the pairings here? I wonder.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure they hired some dude who just like phoned it in. Just put sour cream with this.
For the number of types
plain.
of caviar there is, and the number of types of Pringles there are, and just to sit there and be like, try every single combination.
Yeah.
That was oh god, I couldn't even imagine that. That's just so wrong on so many different levels.
Yeah, and then for $140, you can get all of it.
Also, I'm a little weirded out by the aesthetic here because like they're next to a pool, but they have dice and playing cards.
Yeah, what is happening here? It's like a dice game, and they look like they're by themselves. I see
Pringles,
two drinks, sure, but I mean,
Is there poker chips in that box too? It looks like there's
Maybe
poker
that looks
no,
like it
those
might.
look like I think those are the caps to the caviar. Maybe.
Oh, like I'm over there in the corner.
over there in the corner, the left-hand
I
bottom
thought it was a
corner.
keychain, maybe. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's
What
a
the hell is
keychain.
that?
That looks like a keychain.
That's a keychain. Okay, I'm just sitting here.
But
Which again, so classy.
The most
So fucking classy.
the most
a
straight up
keychain.
thing I see in this picture is like I definitely think I would have to get sloshed in order to eat this. So
Oh,
like,
yeah,
the
I would have to
alcoholic
drink
beverages makes
that
sense. Yeah.
whiskey over there before I even tried any of this. It's just nasty. Go to pringlesandcaviar.shop if you want to try any of this nastiness. Try to
no.
get Dave
No,
to
thank you.
spend $50.
Well, hey,
to
at
get
least it
some
looks like you
caviar.
get some like fancy spoons. So that's
Yeah, you get a
something,
caviar
I guess.
spoon.
You get your caviar
Yeah.
spoons. Yeah.
Yeah, this little baby spoon. Finally, in food news, Kraft Macaroni and Cheese, Oscar Mayer, and Clausen launched new Halloween gummies.
Oh God, that's nasty.
Macaroni and cheese gummies, dude.
I think we have a winner for the nastiest thing ever on food news.
There's been some. This is a contender. There's been some gross stuff, so I'd have to think about it for a minute. But yeah. This is
We had the ketchup
Why?
popsicle. What was the other one we
the
had?
Pringles
that
and
you-
caviar, I guess.
Yeah, no, there was one where you were just like adamant, Taylor. Like, no.
It might have been that
No.
like the cheese, like
The
cheeseburger.
Yeah, the cheeseburger.
Oh, the cheese.
I think it was in
burger.
I think it was in Thailand where it was
It
like
was.
Yeah.
It
just
was.
a big stack of like shitty like craft singles or
those
whatever.
Shitty crap singles in
Yeah.
between two Burger King buns, and that was
Like,
the worst thing ever.
The idea of
This is
eating like a big congealed stack of cheese like that
God,
is
it just hurts
nauseating.
my
And
stomach thinking about
thinking
it.
on that, I think this is worse. Another strong contender is like that mac and cheese ice cream. This is
Oh yeah.
this is an
That was
equally
nasty.
bad idea here, I think. But then there was like the ranch dressing ice cream, also gross.
So
Also, yeah.
I was at the store the other day, and I did see the Kraft macaroni and cheese gummies, and I just went, "Why?"
Oh,
Why
dude, you
is
got to
this a-
pick them up. Next
why
time
is this
you're
a-
there, you've got to, or at least crack a box open and steal
Well, I
one.
mean, if Dave's not here, that leaves you to be research guy.
Yeah,
So
you
yeah.
got to research. I'm
I
gonna get
did not see
Dave's
the
asked to
I
buy some
didn't see
Pringles
the
and
Oscar
caviar.
Mayer gummies.
Yeah.
Thank God I didn't see those.
There's also
That's gross
pickles.
too.
Also pickles.
mm.
Pickle gummies.
Yeah.
So what?
That actually
Looks like you
sounds
got a
okay.
little bit of a grab bag with the Oscar Mayer one.
So what's the point of the Oscar Mayer one? Is that you get the pickle and you get the hot dog. So the hot dog is going to taste.
Oh yeah, I just noticed. Yeah, it has. Apparently, that one has all of them.
Yeah, that's like a side, a snack, and
And-
that's like a whole meal.
Yeah, you have
there.
the mac and cheese one, the Oscar Mayer, and they also have the pickle.
all
yeah.
of those sound bad. All of those sound
All of
like
them
a
sound bad.
just vile concoction.
I would
Death of
actually try the
capitalism,
pickle
everybody.
one.
Death of
Yeah,
capitalism.
capitalism. Exactly. That's disgusting. So yeah, there you go. There's your food news this week. We're gonna try to get Dave to find at least those gummies. I'm gonna try to talk him into getting the Pringles and caviar. No promises. Let's do comics. Thank goodness. At least we have some damn good comics to talk about.
Yeah, a real palate cleanser here. you know?
Jeff in the chat, a variety pack of diarrhea. Yeah, no shit.
Jeff hit
Not
the
wrong
nail on the
about
head
that.
there.
Yeah.
If you give my kid that shit for Halloween, we're egging your damn house. Period.
Oh,
Exactly.
you deserve worse than that. Like,
Yeah, eggs are
you need to
actually
at
very
least like
expensive.
TP the like trees and stuff.
Yeah. All right, so there was a whole lot coming out. Big Game was
Oh.
cool if you're a Miller World fan. Man, Predator vs. Wolverine was cool. Rumpus Room, I think, is going to be my official.
Hold on,
honorable
is
mention.
Predator versus Wolverine not in your top 3?
It's in my top three.
It was that big of a week, dude. Honestly,
You're crazy. Okay, whatever. Move on.
it was
Predator
that
and
big of a
Wolverine's
week.
Predator
Dude.
versus Wolverine's in my top 3. The hell?
It's not. It barely missed the top
We'll
3.
we'll talk about it later, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever.
God,
But
Bone, where
dude, there
you
were
been?
some damn good books this week. But
Yeah, there's been
Rumpus
good
Room
ones.
by Mark Russell and Ramon Razonis. Let me just read the solicit. Technocrat billionaire. He can only be treated for his really weird skin condition with a cream that is made from human beings. All right. So he has this like prison cell in his basement, and they get to vote on who gets kicked out whenever he needs some more of his, lotion. But his current guest is an undercover cop, and she has a gun, and that's where it starts, right? This is Mark Russell just doing what Mark Russell does: social commentary with some comedy and a lot of heart. Really, really well done. I can't wait to see more of this. But all I have is number ones in my list this week. My number 3 though is D Squad. I know. Mark Guggenheim, Salva Espin. This was fucking hilarious, dude. For most of like the first 10 or 15 pages, it's just R2D2 beep, 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 and swearing his way through space, And it was just so freaking cool. Here's him meeting up with Chopper, again. And, this other droid, like this
Yeah, that
mechanic
was the best
droid is
part
like,
about this
enough, just freaking hilarious, dude. And again,
that infighting was great.
Oh, it was so freaking well done. They get 000, at the end to join up, and they're going to be this big, cool droid destruction squad. Dude, I'm so stoked. Again, this is all out of the Dark Droids event where there's like a AI who is turning all of the droids basically into, zombies that he controls. Just very creative with the dialogue in this. Man, this is the book I had the most fun with this week. And there was no way I was leaving this off my top 3. The Dark Droids event has surprised me, and this is so damn fun, dude. Yeah, very creative with the dialogue, very fun book. Mark Guggenheim murdered it. Salva Espin did the art on there. So, all right, Taylor, bunch of honorable mentions.
Yeah, okay. Rapid fire, just name checking most of these. Uncanny Avengers number 2, really good. Fish Flies number 2, really good. Guardians of the Galaxy
I can't believe they sold you that copy of Fish Flies. There was a misprint on the cover. Those were all supposed to be destroyed. And that's why I didn't even read it, because it's not technically coming out until later. But Just FYI. Just FYI.
Okay, well, hold on to that then.
Yeah, that's a collector. That's a collectible for sure.
Indeed. Anyway, Guardians number 6. Titans.
We learned a lot in Guardians.
They did.
Really
like
enjoyed that. Yeah.
This was any other week that definitely would have been in my top 3, but
sure.
like you said, crowded ass week. But yeah, I really like the way they revealed everything in here.
Yeah. I like how everybody said this is my fault. It was my fault. I love that.
That was really brilliant. I love the way that like that drip feeds us the story and gives us like their psyche at the same time. Really well done. Great from the hive mind. Titans number 3 was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. They did a little bit of a fake out, but then like Flash is like, no, I'm just gonna go search this entire place while we're having this conversation, and he comes back with like, oh, well, here's the evidence that they are actually fucking evil, you know?
Yeah, really well done. I agree.
Superman number 6 was fun. Nightwing number 106 was fun. The thing that was closest to making my top 3 was Wolverine number 37.
Dude, the art in there, Juan Jose Rip,
like getting the Hulk in on it. A fucking Wolverine Wendigo. I mean, what the fuck else do you want?
Cool.
And I also love, like, they used this in a way to have, like, a trip down Wolverine's memory lane and also get into his psyche, you know? Like,
and Solemn shows up.
Yeah, all these different lives that he's led, you know? This seems like it had enough legs to honestly be its own arc, but they fit it all into one issue.
Yeah, it was very well done.
So
it was a good issue.
The main reason this is not in my top 3 is because I didn't want to have 2 Benjamin Percy Wolverine books in my top 3.
Nice.
But yeah, this was a lot of fun. My number 3 this week then is going to be Wonder Woman number 1.
That is actually my number 1 book.
That's my number 1 also.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was really fucking good.
Yeah, Tom King and Daniel Sampier. Brand new status quo. It's just go ahead. I can't say enough. It's wordy as hell, but man, it's
wordy as hell. This was a lot to get through. But yeah, this was a brilliant setup. Like, Tom King isn't really holding our hand too much. He assumes we know a lot of these basics, and he's setting up a really interesting status quo while also giving Wonder Woman a chance to kick some fucking ass in here, and it was great.
Yeah.
You know? I really like the whole villain reveal at the end. I think that's going to make for a lot of good commentary and a lot of good, just like, this is a great opponent for Wonder Woman. You know, even has the fucking lasso of lies here. You know,
yeah. Well, her daughter had that in the precursor to this, if you'll remember. Yeah, which is really cool. Yeah, King is just feeding off of some pretty blatant social and political issues, and I'm 100% here for it. That's really all I have to say about it. It just read really well. It was beautifully drawn. The status quo has definitely changed. It leans into a lot of comic book tropes, you know, the Superhuman Registration Act, Mutant Registration, that whole thing. A lot of that is still going down at Marvel, you know, with New York being all anti-hero and all that, but I think King separated himself from that stuff by really making it blatantly social, blatantly political.
Yeah.
There's no way you cannot draw lines between a lot of the movements, right-wing movements that are happening and what is being told in the pages of Wonder Woman. Tom King is full 100% Tom King in this. And
what I'm predicting this is going to set up as is like the competing visions of America, you know, like, is it a place where people can, you know, have a say in their government, where people can, like, you know, live their best lives, or is it all being controlled by an old white man?
Dude.
Yeah.
I love it.
I also love the commentary where, like, fucking Steel in this was trying to gaslight her, and that's an interesting... My take from that was, like, Wonder Woman is the person you cannot gaslight.
Exactly.
You know, you cannot shake her conviction, and she has the fucking lasso of truth, so, like, oh, are you seriously even trying that? Here, let me just get this guy to say what you are really doing. You know?
He even says it. Oh, come on, girl. And then she's like, all right, woman. You know.
And then like darling and sweetie and like
just perfect.
Like, it was just like
dude.
He was like the perfect approximation of like toxic masculinity. You know.
He was. Yeah.
But King is also saying some things like, they call it Paradise Island, and there's no men there. Really, what are they trying to say?
Yeah,
you know
like
what I mean?
an interview with that guy, you know, like
a question to ask.
These man-hating, you know, whatevers. But
yes, and they're not. They're literally not.
Yeah,
you know,
he's saying a lot of really cool things, and At first, I was worried, like, is this going to end up being one of those things where, like, I have to read, like, 5 issues of this before it gets good? No. He stuck the landing. This was an excellent first issue.
Yeah, he introduced a new villain and then introduced the villain, who is also a new villain, and he just did it wonderfully. He did it just beautifully, man. I was pleasantly surprised by this, way more than any other book this week. That's why it made my number one.
That's why it's my number one too. It's very well done.
Great call out, Taylor. Loved it. All right, Andy, honorable mentions and number 3.
So my honorable mentions are the Green Lantern War Journal, number 1.
It was very solid, dude. I was a little lost because I didn't read any of the other stuff from the.
With so much that I had to buy this week, this was the one that ended up on the cutting room floor for me.
Yeah. It was good.
And then Captain America number 1 was an honorable mention for me.
That's my number 2.
That is my number 2.
I enjoyed it. It was really good.
I adored this book.
But I mean, when we get to my top 3, I'll explain that. And then
cool.
My last honorable mention, it goes to the penultimate issue of Click Click Boom, which is Click Click Boom number 4.
Very well done again.
Yeah,
I'm loving this book.
I removed it from my top 3, otherwise it would have been my number 1 because I just love this book so much.
Yeah, it's very fucking cool.
Yeah,
very cool book.
Apocalypse assassin survivor who can't talk and only.
Yeah,
we've done this before. We've done this one before, but it's
so good.
It's so good. Yeah,
it's so fun.
But my number 3 is the Uncanny Spider-Man number 1 with Nightcrawler as Spider-Man.
Yeah, this was fun. Cy Spurrier, he's a little up his own ass in this, but I love the status quo here for the character.
I just love how I think this is a good direction for Nightcrawler to be in right now, being Spider-Man. I think this is a really well told starting off point right now. There's a lot of first issue problems with this, and I'm not, but they can be glossed over by the fact that it's Nightcrawler being Spider-Man.
I fucking love Nightcrawler, and I actually do like Cy Spurrier, but I've had this weird disconnect with Cy Spurrier writing Nightcrawler, where like I love a lot of the good ideas at play, but like they just never really landed for me.
Yeah, I mean, this probably needs a chance.
Oh God, I'm gomering you. I'm sorry.
You are. I was about to say.
It's fine. It's fine. I agree with you. This needs a chance to build a little bit more. I thought it was well done. I mean, Nightcrawler, like I said, Nightcrawler fits very well into the Spider-Man role now.
He really does. He's still trying. I like how Cy Spurrier's not like, okay, he's not just going to jump in and do everything. Like he even makes fun. Like, hey, English is my second language, so I'm really having some problems. He's explaining his jokes.
Yeah, he's trying to do the whole entire. Yeah, that was like the point of this book, where it's like he's trying to do the Spider-Man shtick, where he's just like, I'm gonna make fun of you, but I can't because English is my second language.
Yeah, so I did have some problems with it. Like the bad guys running through the park were like, oh, if we go to the park, Spider-Man can't get us because they don't have no web, they have no buildings to shoot off. I was like, okay, that's
Spider-Man can run like 200 miles an hour. That's
I know.
So dumb.
I mean, it's just But
and also, this is Nightcrawler, so of course that's the joke here. But
without the Peter Parker conversation that they have while they're eating or whatever, this book would have been terrible. But him talking with Peter, and then Peter, like leaning into the fall of X the way Peter did, it sold me on the book. So I will be picking up issue number 2 of this. I had a fun time with this.
Yeah. So it's my number 3 because it's just it's good. It's one of the.
It's different.
It's different. I mean, it's like I didn't expect it to be as good as it was, because like Spider-Man, the main storytelling for Peter's side has just been so bad lately. We just needed something fresh injected to it, and Nightcrawler being Spider-Man right now is that type of like fresh injection that you need, where it's just like, this is something different, something new, where it's not going to be like, Peter, what did you do? Nobody cared at that point when it's like, so that's why I made my number 3.
Yeah. Good call out. Very, very well done. The art was beautiful, and it worked perfect for the character. And Cy Spurrier, did a good job. I am definitely on board for more. So, all right, back around to me for number 2. My number 2, as previously mentioned, Captain America number 1, JMS and Hey Uzais. While I really dislike the overused flashback when it comes to Punisher Frank Castle, I fucking adore it when Steve Rogers does it, man.
Well, Steve is the man of time. If anyone is going to, have a separate timeline flashback thing. It should be the guy who is his whole shtick is that he's a man from a different era, you know?
Yeah. It really worked. I love when he's doing like really nice things for people, just like everyday shit.
Yes.
Like it shows off his work ethic back in the day. I love it. Just being a stand-up guy.
Like this was the perfect handoff from the Lansing and Jackson run to this.
Yes.
You know, because I guess they got their names backwards actually there, but
yeah.
Like this is the same type of like Steve Rogers really is a great guy. And he's not a fool about it. He's just a genuinely like awesome person, and that really shines through. JMS is like the perfect writer for something like this. And incidentally, just welcome back, JMS. It's been such a long time since I got to read him at one of the big two, and I am fucking loving having him back here, you know?
Yeah. The main story where it's this Travis Lane rich guy getting possessed by whoever and AIM.
Whatever, some demon, whatever.
Yeah, and then Steve's past before he became Cap, you know, that part of it. It's just very intriguing. I'm really excited to see where it's going to go. I appreciated the FF in here just so had some hero spice to the stew, but it was unnecessary. We didn't really need it. But man, I cannot wait.
Well, I mean, that
I love him helping this guy out.
This is such a great Captain America moment here, you know. And Captain America, he pays Union scale, motherfuckers.
Dude, love that, dude. Just loved that, man. And then we get this, like, he goes to like a rally, a Nazi rally.
Well, he accidentally stumbles into one.
Well, he's hungry. They give him away free lunch.
Stumbles into one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like JMS is going to be telling some. He's not going to shy away from difficult subjects. You know, he's going to. The best Captain America stories are the ones that grapple with trying to hold true to the ideals that are part of the American dream, and like
and punching Nazis,
yeah, and then also like reconciling that with the moments where we have failed miserably to live up to that dream. You know, like this is not something that's just in the Marvel universe here. This is something that. There was a big, before we entered World War II, there was this big Nazi grassroots movement that tried very hard to take hold here in the United States, and it got closer than most people like to think.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it got dangerously close.
yeah. But just the duality here. There's also another duality here. Like, his friend Arnie, Steve's friend Arnie, keeps saying, hey, do you need some help? Do you need some help? I'll help you out. I know you just need a little bit of help. And he's not taking it. But then you juxtapose that with nowadays. You know,
he's going out and he's like doing everything he can, you know,
to help everybody, and they're accepting it just out of hand, you know. And it's like I almost expect to see some growth almost with a character who is, you know,
maybe that will get at the end of the arc, you know, like he'll take that helping hand back in the past, which I hope that's how this goes.
Yeah,
but
too. And
JMS gets this character.
That's
yes,
kind of shitty. But
I also
he's
like the phone
landlord.
call he had with Tony, where it's like, okay, are you finally taking me up on that offer to get like a private jet or something? It's like, nope. I'm going to open a rent-controlled apartment.
Yeah, I'm going to save 100 tenants of this apartment from eviction, and I love.
Steve's a great guy. JMS gets him on a fundamental level, and even the things with Spider-Man and like the Fantastic Four, I feel like that's him getting. It's like him visiting old friends, you know, because he had such big runs with those characters way back in the day, you know.
Right.
He was the one writing those books when I was first getting into comics back when I was in high school, you know.
Yeah. So just great fucking issue.
This felt like coming home, and I love it.
Yeah, JMS coming home.
Really great. It was really well done.
Yeah, 100%. Captain America #1. Go buy it. It's awesome. Taylor, #2. I think we may have already mentioned.
That was what we were just talking about with Captain America #1.
Yes, that was my #2. And Andy, was that your #2 as well?
No, my #2 is Predator versus Wolverine #1.
This is my #1, so I get
Taylor's #1.
Maybe I'll take off early here, but no.
This was awesome.
This book rules.
Yeah, it does. It's just big dumb fun. I mean, it's like
it's a dumb fun idea, but Benjamin Percy is coming in here and writing his fucking ass off to make it a good fucking story, you know?
Riding that killer whale is so stupid. I love it.
So he's just like,
this could just be a lazy ass, let's get Wolverine and the Predator to fight each other, and I'd still fucking love it.
Yeah.
But this goes the extra mile, you know? This is a he's taking advantage of Wolverine having lived in all these different eras, and he's making this like a story of the kind of like with Wolverine's own book this week. We're looking at the different lives that he's led,
Yeah.
And also with the most recent Predator book.
Yeah.
It goes back in time and does things in a new and different way. And Ben Percy is really leaning into that. I love the comparison almost between, I can never say the word, the Juate or whatever.
The Predator. We're just going to call it the Predator.
And Wolverine and Logan. They kind of have these, they're very similar in a lot of ways.
We talked when this book was announced, it seems like such low-hanging fruit. This is such a cool matchup. It seems genuinely evenly matched. Yeah. And it would work even if they did the lazy thing here, but they're not.
Yeah.
Like Benjamin Percy is putting in the work and he is making it fucking awesome.
And he even understands like this aspect of the Predator, of the stories from the Predator. Like you don't,
like his greatest weakness is underestimating.
Yeah. Exactly. You don't just beat the Predator by going out there and hunting the Predator. You go out there and you do things smartly. You do the smart shit.
We don't want to read Predator versus Thor, where Thor can just go up and just smack him with his hammer and you'd be done with it. We want to see the fucking tactics. We want to see outsmarting the Predator, and Wolverine is doing that in spades here. Yeah.
Yeah, such a great damn book.
And the next issue is fucking Weapon X versus a whole squad of Predators? Are you fucking kidding me? I wish it was coming out tomorrow,
Yeah. Just a fantastic book. Wonderful freaking art in this, man. And I'm not even that big of a fan of Greg Land, and his tracing, although he is the best tracer on the planet. But
he traced the hell out of the stuff for this book.
Yeah, he nailed it in this, man. He just nailed it. I had such a good time with this. Again, if it wasn't such a crowded week, I knew I was going to love this. Some of the other shit or everything else on my top 3, I wasn't sure. But I knew with Ben Percy writing it, I knew it was just going to be fantastic.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it was.
But Andy, let's hear. Sorry, I didn't mean to keep cutting you off, Andy.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
This is his number 2, actually. It's on him.
We're technically on his turn. Yes.
Yeah. It's my turn, but I don't care. You can cut me off whenever you want.
Yeah.
To.
Right.
I just Taylor said it best. I just love how it's. And they did the duality between the Predator and Logan, where they're the same type of people. But it's just 2 different sides of the same coin. Where it's the Predator just does it to, to prove that he's better than everybody else, where Logan just does it to survive.
Right, exactly. And that's Prey. That's how Prey works.
Yeah, and that's why Prey worked so well, because Prey was the exact same way, where you have the indigenous tribe who's like, we hunt for food, and the Predator just hunts for sport.
Exactly, dude. Yeah, and they get into that in this. Percy makes a point to say Logan only does the things he needs to do when he needs to do them. The Predator is just out there doing the shit because that's his passion. That's his hobby. He just loves doing it.
When they finally meet, when the this Predator meet and Logan meet for the first time, that's just like, oh, shit's gonna hit the fan at that point. But it's well done. I just love the storytelling. It hit all the right marks for me. That's why it's my number 2. But I'm sorry, we all know what my number 1 is. I already said it. So
yeah, and that comes to me. Number 1, Wonder Woman. Number 1, Tom King. So fucking cool. I was not expecting to enjoy this as much as I did. I knew I was gonna at least appreciate it because Tom King, everything that he does, I understand where he's trying to go with it. But this, I'm so excited about where he is going to go with this book. And
when Tom King is at the top of his game, he is definitely one of the best writers out there.
Yeah, he is. He definitely hit this out of the park this time around.
Yeah, and he goes really full on Tom King in this. He doesn't give a shit what you're going to think about the book. He writes from his own personal spot. He writes books that are meaningful, that are poignant with either socially, politically, something like that. And this hits all of those nails. I mean, perfectly. He's just so well done. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people don't like Heroes in Crisis. I adore it because it seems so personal. He's putting a lot out there that is himself.
It's maybe not fair to the book, but that was a non-starter for me because I had just endured a decade of Wally West getting shot on it. He's my favorite Flash,
I know, and he really did shit on him, But that's what Wally's there for, to get shat on. Sorry.
No, he's not. Fuck you.
I mean, but in the last 10 years, maybe
They-
20
Come on,
years.
Wally's been a
We
whipping
finally
boy
have gotten. Man, the last couple of years, we've finally gotten like real Wally back, and it's been such a
joy.
Wally's
such a
been a
relief,
whipping boy
you know,
for
in
a
a lot of ways.
decade,
Yeah.
and now Wally's in the limelight and not being a whipping boy, and it's a good thing. I agree with that.
I mean,
but
isn't he on the Titans? Is that Wally on the Titans?
He's on the Titans, and he
He's
was
dead
the.
again. They killed him again. Tom
Well,
Taylor's got a great hook to it, but a great twist to it. But still, they're still beating the shit out of Wally. They're still beating him up.
but they
I don't
have
know.
they have an out this time, you know.
Yeah, they do. Man, we didn't even mention Rare Flavors, which I fucking loved. But anyway, yeah, that's it. Taylor's number one was The Predator, and Andy's number one was Wonder Woman. So, wow, we're done. That went quick.
Well, we were stepping on each other's toes this week, but
Yeah.
Man,
With the choices. Yeah.
this
proud
has
of me.
really
That's
been
the
like we were lousy with good comic books this week, you know.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Like any other week, Guardians would have made my top 3. Wolverine would have made my top
Nightwing
3.
was fantastic.
Nightwing was really good. Yeah,
Superman released a new
Superman is
villain.
consistently really fun. Yeah,
Yeah, there's a new villain, and that was
Titans is one of the best
great.
team books going right now.
Yeah,
my illicit copy of Fish Flies was a lot of fun.
I know, dude. I can't believe
We
that.
didn't talk
I
about.
mean, I got
the
a digital
Hexagon,
copy
The
early,
hexagon thing from
but-
Image.
Oh, it was okay. I
was
didn't
okay,
like how
yeah.
it was split into like parts like that. I had a little bit of trouble following.
Yeah, and Rare Flavors was okay.
I loved
know?
Rare Flavors, dude. I think
It was a
Ram
little
V-
heavy-handed for me on the Faustian stuff, but
Oh, it was definitely, yeah. I love a good chai tea recipe, though.
Yeah.
Just saying. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, everybody. We appreciate it. If you like what we're doing, check out what the Bullies are doing. Comic Book Bullies, they do a show on these channels and others. Pop culture podcast. They're going to talk about comics at the end of the show, but you never know what you're going to get. It's a box of chocolates, video games, movies, TV, novels sometimes, shit. You just never know what's going to happen. You go check out Leroy and Eli there. If you want links to what they got going on and everything we got going on, outrightgeekery.com. All the socials, all the audios, all the videos, all the merch, everything that you want, including the Outright Geekery group on Facebook, where there is a lot of magic happening. Thanks to Andy.
Hey, do you want to know something really cool about the group
I would
page?
love to know that.
Oh, I'll tell you something cool about the group page. It has reached 17,000 members.
Hell yeah!
Woo!
Hell yeah.
Yes. So yeah, go check that out. Join. Yeah, just go over there and start clicking on links. You are not going to have a bad
Shameless
time.
plug over here.
No, it's not shameless shit. That's all this. I love it.
Oh, it's shameless.
It's shameless.
yeah, it
It's
might be
totally shameless.
It might be shameless. Jeff telling us great show, fellas. Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
We really,
Hey, thanks
really
for stopping
appreciate you
by, man.
hanging out, brother. We really, really do. So, come back tomorrow night. We're going to do the preview show. I know we skipped last week. I'm sorry. I had a big family thing. It wasn't even an emergency, really. My daughter got on some new medication, and she had a weird reaction, and we were nervous. However, all of that has panned out, and the medication is awesome. She is
That's
really enjoying life.
I'm glad to hear that. But hey, man, you don't have to apologize for having to deal with
don't
family
apologize
stuff.
for family
Well,
stuff.
to the audience, to whoever, to Jeff.
I mean, I
whoever's
didn't
gonna
do.
hang out.
I didn't do a.
I like to think that Jeff would be okay with it.
Oh no, I'm sure he is. I still, yeah.
The one
sure
person
he
who watches
is.
the
Jeff
show.
comments in like, "How dare
Yeah,
you?"
he's like, "How dare you? I'm listening to the Bullies now, and not y'all." Yeah,
Yeah, I'm in the middle.
The
I'm
Bullies
literally
don't
at the
care
last
anything for
legs
their
of
yeah, they don't
families.
give a fuck. Yeah, awesome. But again, thanks for hanging out, everybody. We really appreciate it. But most of all, thanks to these guys for hanging out with this guy.
Hell yeah!
We're gonna do it again next time.
Same geek time, same geek channel.
Man, he went all out.